Well, we've had the Junior X30s here at Glenagos Park. Time to move on to the Senior X30 competition now, with 15 feisty drivers charging for Club Corner here at Glenagos. It's going to be really exciting to see who emerges as the victor. Matt Davies and Brett Ward on the front row, with the high feisty Jack Partridge alongside Scott Mackerel, Sam Marsh and Charlie Turner, Josh Collings and Charlie Bingham, Ewan Wilson and Davey Shepherd. From Williams, Hughes, Morris and Morris. It's the hat-trick right at the back of the field there, keeping it in the family from 13th to 15th place. As they come out of the final turn, who's going to get the jump? Partridge is trying to move through the second row to move up into first or second places, but Davies and Ward, I think, are still out in front. They have managed to get the jump on the rest of the field, but it's Brett Ward who leads the way.
Brett Ward leads it from Davies in second. Matt Davies, a former junior TKM champion, 74. Jack Partridge, also a former junior TKM champion, so plenty of quality in this. And Sam Marsh got a little bit of work to do. Sam Marsh led the championship coming into this round. Did say before the break, if he loses, will he be a marshmallow?
Well, if
he might be a little mellow if he loses.
Might well be, considering the quality of the field he's having to race against here. And if it finishes the way it does, he'll only be leading the championship by 1 point to Scott Mackerel. So he's really got to roll up his sleeves and get on with this now. It's Ward from Davies, Partridge, Mackerel, Turner, Brown, and down in seventh position in the early stages, Sam Marsh with Josh Collings right on his tail. So they're going to have to work very hard indeed to work up through the field. And let's not forget who they've got to try and overtake to get back into contention. First, they've got to pick off Charlie Bingham, then Charlie Turner, then Scott Mackerel, then Jack Partridge, then Matt Davies before they even think about Brett Ward. This is a really tall order.
Yeah, Sam Marsh there in seventh is now down in third place in the virtual championship points. The points on the right of your screen are the points if it finished now. So Ward out front, Marsh down in seventh. Marsh has lost the championship lead as things stand, as the rest of the karts scream through the line. Who's got the lead in the Morris battle? It's Eleanor Morris who leads sister Anna and Richard down in 15th place. That's the Morris family battle here in Super 1. They're at the back of the field, but they're just thinking about beating each other.
Oh, Charlie Turner, that is, making a great move on the inside of Mackerel, leaves him no space at all, but a beautifully executed manoeuvre there from Turner, and that puts him up into fourth position. Now chasing down Jack Partridge. And Scott Mackerel down to fifth position, the man who won the televised round one. Well, it's not looking so good for him at the moment. He's got a lot of time to make up on Ward and Davies out front.
Looks like Ward and Davies could be battling for the win here. Plenty of space between all of the drivers as they go through the line. Ward has just set the fastest lap, 3 purple sectors. Matt Davies there in second place currently, but are getting closer to the race leader.
Marsh has moved up into sixth position, I should point out, because down a couple of places, I think it was Marsh that managed to get past Charlie Bingham. So Marsh into sixth position. That puts him just 3 points behind Brett Ward in the virtual championship. If it ends like this, he needs to get up a couple more places if he wants to leave here with the championship lead. This is so tight. And up the inside, that's going to be a really feisty opportunity for Turner. Can't quite get the move done on Jack Partridge, and that will cost them both time. Brett Ward and Matt Davies are checking out in front, and it looks as though it'll be these two for the win, with Partridge and Turner desperately trying to stay with them. But Brett Ward definitely having a bit more of an advantage than Matt Davies in the early stage. But let's not forget, Davies isn't going to go for the win yet. He's just going to sit on his bumper and wait to see what Ward does.
Yeah, I've got plenty of time to have a look at Brett Ward, see where he's quick, see where Matt thinks he can put a move on him, get by, where Matt thinks he's quicker than Ward. But it's always an advantage, particularly when you've got nobody right up your chuff putting pressure on you. He knows he can sit there lap after lap after lap and just have a look at Brett Ward, see where he thinks he can get by. He's got no pressure from behind. Jack Partridge well behind him. Charlie Turner there in fourth place. Marsh is up to fifth at the end of that lap, and Mackerel down to sixth. Josh Collings there in seventh. Charlie Bingham eighth. Then Ewan Wilson and Davey Shepherd rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, Matt Davies is in a very important position here in second place, and it's a double-edged sword really, isn't it, running in second place this early in the race, because you have to maintain the same sort of pace down to the 100th of a second really of the race leader so that he doesn't get away, but at the same time you don't want to push it too hard either. You're the man who's in all of the control really of the situation, sat in second position on the back of the race leader, because you've got more in reserve. If you don't commit too much to it too so early, you've actually got a better chance of sprinting out and grabbing the victory with a couple of laps to go than the man out in front has. So it's a tricky situation, but it's one that Matt Davies has been in plenty of times. He knows everything there is to know about snatching a victory in the dying death of a race.
Yeah, Jack Partridge was, as we've just seen the graphics there, Junior TKM champion in 2012. Matt Davies was the Junior TKM champion the following season. Junior TKM champion 1992, Jake, a certain Jenson Button.
Yeah, and he's gone on to do quite all right for himself, hasn't he? King of the World in 2009, and maybe one or two of these might have an opportunity to emulate him in the world of karting. Jenson Button took plenty of titles in his karting days. These guys are going to stay on in the world of karting into their senior years a bit longer. But there are some great drivers who have done that in the past, the likes of Martin Hines, who was the king of karting in various different disciplines at an adult age. So too the likes of Terry Fullerton, absolutely incredible driver in the world of karting. And these guys have obviously chosen karting as their long-term aim to build a career, which you can do, of course, not just in this country, but also into continental Europe and in the United States. And in X30, it's slowly building a bit of a community, isn't it, on both sides of the Atlantic?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed to see that they've changed the rules so you can't come out of karting into Formula One like Max Verstappen did, for example. I don't know why they changed that rule. He came out of karting into Formula One without having to go into cars. I like that idea. And then when he did it, they changed the rules so you can't do it again. What I don't understand the point, particularly when you think, just a few hours ago, he's just taken his first win in Formula One at 18,
It's
Jake.
just incredible. We may never, ever see an 18-year-old win in Formula One again as a result of that rule change. Isn't it incredible? But these guys are still giving it absolutely everything as Ward and Davies pull away. Look at the gap. They've managed to disappear from Partridge and Turner now. And Turner is starting to get quite racy on the back of Partridge. These guys will be sitting there a little bit frustrated, actually, in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. They'll know that Ward and Davies are too far ahead to challenge. They're never going to be able to go for the victory. So now it's all or nothing for that 3rd position. And Partridge holding on to it at the moment by a couple of kart lengths. Turner's getting close, but he just seems to be a little bit too eager into the braking zone. He needs to hold back a little bit. Look again, he has a great opportunity to just hang back, ease a little bit more off the throttle and just coast round. He'd be a little bit closer to Partridge if he did that. He's just getting a little bit too eager, perhaps.
Well, he's certainly getting closer now as he got through the compression complex. 3 right-handers, that's the first one. That's the second one. Here comes the third one. That completes the compression complex. The hairpin brings you down into Devil's Elbow. The track drops away there, and then out of Devil's Elbow down to Paddock Bend. That's the final turn. Start-finish line, club corner is turn 1. Out onto the 220-metre Dragon Straight. Just about saw the dog leg there. You've got to clip the inside of the dog leg as you go up the straight. That's around 3 metres shorter than going around the edge of the track rather than clipping the insides. We see Matt Davies getting a lot closer to Ward. Ward under real pressure now from Davies. Looks like he's had his look. He's had a chance to have a good look at him. He now looks like he's looking for a way past, Jake.
Yeah, it's a picturesque circuit, this Clanigorse Park circuit, but it is also very technical and very, very physical. You really have to be incredibly strong and disciplined to get the best of the racetrack, and it's going to be tricky to see who gets this 3rd position behind. Meanwhile, though, Davies has got a brilliant run out of the corner, zips by in the king, absolutely perfect, and down to the spoon. Davies hits the front. Talk about timing.
Great move by Matt Davies. That's a brave move there. Really fast, flat out through a blind brow. Partridge still in front in 3rd place. Brett Ward trying to fight back but can't get it done into the compression complex. Ward may look to go around the outside. No, he's just going to sit in position for the time being, but we're getting down to the business end of this race as the karts come down. Out down to the final turn. You see the paddock in the background. I mentioned Formula One earlier, Jake. There are 6 Formula One world champions working in that paddock as mechanics and team managers these days.
Yep, really.
The only thing is, Jake, they never got the chance to drive in Formula One because they never had the money. Had they got the chance, there's at least half a dozen drivers there that would have won the Formula One World Championship. Not just competed in the championship, in the right car, they would have won the world title. But it's all about money, as we know, as we see Sam Marsh up a spot, and that's going to give him the championship lead back, Jake, when they go across the start-finish line. Watch those points change.
It certainly is. Talking of racing drivers who could and should have been Formula One world champions, you could easily put Sam Marsh in that category. He's always had the ability in karting to be right near the front, fighting for supremacy, and as they come across the line, you can see that move to 4th position, and Davies moving into the lead, dropping the man with the fastest lap, Brett Ward, down to 2nd position. That is as crucial as it gets in terms of a championship fight. Marsh has gone back into the lead of the title race.
He has. You're making Sam Marsh sound like he's 47 years old.
It's a good point, actually. No, he's not. He's one of the younger men in this field, of course. But now these two are going to continue their scrap. Davies has got the advantage. He's got the lead. Has Brett Ward got a perfect ace up his sleeve? No, as they go down the crest, it's going to be Davies who holds on to it. I thought maybe he might try something into the final turn, but he wasn't quite close enough. A great victory for Davies. Brett Ward in 2nd place, Jack Partridge in 3rd. But unfortunately for Partridge, he becomes a non-compliant exclusion from the results. He failed scrutineering, unfortunately, so his incredible drive is wasted, and that promotes Sam Marsh to an even bigger chunk of points. 3rd position as the last few stragglers cross the line. He was going to have a 1-point advantage, but Partridge's exclusion means he'll have a 3-point lead leaving Glenegor's Park. Here's the official confirmation of the top 10. Davies from Ward and Marsh promoted to 3rd, with Turner, Mackerel, Collins, Bingham, Wilson, Williams and Shepherd all moving up 1.
From a spectator's point of view, that was fantastic. You and Brett pushed each other right to the limit. How hard was that race?
Yeah, it was a very hard race, but it's been like that all weekend. He's been pushing me all to the limit all weekend, and I think I've done the same to him. It's been a really good weekend, and yeah, couldn't have asked for much better. Big thanks to my mum and dad for everything.
Great drive from Matt Davies. That brings him to 4th in the championship, 2 points behind Scott Mackerel, who's only 1 behind Brett Ward, who's now 3 behind Sam Marsh. 4 drivers, 6 points. What a battle we've got in Snr X30 for the rest of the season. And they're all pretty evenly matched. The final race of the day comes from TKM Extreme with 52 karts on the grid, and with 2 heats and the pre-final, can Phil Smith make it a maximum attack with 4 wins from 4 starts? Find out after the break.